solutions.
Yeah, you said you asked for 1 minute.
Yes, exactly.
Not more than 1 minute.
Yes, sir. Please count. Let me say something. We have to do our own homeworks in Africa. Yes. 2, we need our partners. And as Javier Solana is here, I think that Europe and Africa should work together. I will tackle 2 examples in 1 minute. Javier, I think that Europe has no ambition, not only towards the Mediterranean, but also towards Africa. And today, EU needs some new innovative tools to accompany. 2 examples. The situation in Libya. When we hosted these talks on Libya in Morocco, we found that only political solution, dialogue, can move forward in the respect of the clear parameters as respect of territorial integrity of states and their national unity. 2, migration. And my friend was saying, only it's a question of shared responsibility. We have to work out together, countries of origin, countries of transit, and countries of destination. And Europe should work with us in this comprehensive approach. 1 minute, sir.
Thank you very much. Let me, we've been given a few more minutes to have the audience participation from the floor. We call the, one of the Munich young leaders, Lindwe Masiboko.
Thank you very much, President Obasanjo. My name is Lindwe Masiboko. I'm from South Africa, and I'm the former leader of the opposition in the South African Parliament. I was very happy that the former SG, Kofi Annan, opened with a discussion about inequality and about youth. But I noticed that women are conspicuous by their absence in this conversation, especially when we talk about organizations, non-state actors like Al-Shabaab and Boko Haram. But my question is about inequality in particular. When we talk about inequality, it seems to be focused very much on economic inequality. Right. But inequality has an age in Africa. The average age of an African is 19 years old, but the 10 oldest leaders on the continent average 78 years old. We talk about young people in their absence, and we talk about economic inequality, but we don't talk about representative inequality. In other words, young people are left out of decision-making, women are left out of decision-making, but increasingly they're not even allowed to go to the ballot box and choose their heads of state. And so there's been a lot of talk about stability and democracy, but there doesn't seem to be any effort to condemn efforts by long-standing presidents and heads of states in Africa who try to renew their terms and continue to deny voice to the young people, to the women who they should be representing, using the excuse of stability, which I think is increasingly a weasel word that's used to cover up what its real meaning is, which is protecting the status quo. So my question to the panel, President Obasanjo, is, at the level of inequality, when we talk about economic inequality, corruption, absence of voice, lack of representation for young people and women, when at a multilateral level in Africa, are African countries going to begin to hold each other accountable for enacting democratic norms, for not staying in office for too long, for not denying young people, women, the people who are most vulnerable to instability and insecurity, their voice, their democratic voice, their ability to be heard? When are we going to stop tiptoeing around the issue of a small group of people who are unrepresentative of what the continent looks like, holding on to power, maintaining their grip on it, and the effect that that has on real stability, which is economic, which is political, which is social? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lindwe. Lindwe, thank you very much. I think I will allow 1 or 2 of members of the panel. But let me say this without holding a brief for Kofi Annan. Kofi Annan talked about inequality, and when he talked about youth, I don't think he differentiates between male and female. Now, he did not mention women specifically, but I believe it is implied. And let me just talk a little bit about Nigeria. Now, we make politically now, all the political parties make it clear, and it is in their constitution, women who want to participate in any elective office don't have to pay anything. Now, if you want to be president of Nigeria, you have to pay to buy form and all that, or you want to be a senator or a member of representative if you are a man. But if you are a woman, you don't pay anything. This is one of the ways that we try to level up the participation of women. But I understand the point you are making, and it's a point that we have to directly address. A young Nigerian girl of about 26 came to me once and said this: look, the history, the past, we do not understand. The present is not in our favor, and the future is bleak. Now, when that is said to you, what do? I felt really worried, and I think that is also the sort of thing you are saying. Now, politically, economically, and socially, we need a leveling up for our women in Africa.
I want to join you in thanking the person who asked that question. I think empowering women for us is really very important. I think the last summit in Johannesburg, it was the theme of the summit. And also this year, with special attention to human rights. So I can assure you very shortly, because we don't have time, that the Commission is already 50-50.
You want to say that? Yeah.
And we are really working hard to make that policy everywhere. And I think if you see today, for example, in the parliaments, we have many parliaments where we have more than 30% of women present. And in fact, the best in the world is Rwanda, as you know, it's 67% of women who are represented in the parliament. The same goes to youth, and you are right. We are going to increase our efforts towards them, and we are, as Africa Union, we are going even to create a department dedicated to youth. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. YOUSSEF wants 1 minute again, yes. And that will be the last minute, because yes. The red light is on.
Yeah. I completely share your views. We should have the women on board. And that's why in countries like Morocco, the gender equality today is in our constitution. And this is thanks to the struggle of the women liberation. Two, one issue you didn't mention, and I think is crucial, is the sexual violence against women in armed conflict. This is a big issue. We have proposed a project of resolution at the UN, and I think we should also work in this direction.
Thank you very much. It now remains for me to thank Kofi Annan, Shetty, President of Somalia, and the panel for being wonderful panelists. And